Hey there boys and girls, Lucky here and welcome back to another CSGO video. Today we're talking about Overwatch in CSGO and why some people are afraid of it. So I'd say let's get right into it. So after my last video about the recent Overwatch changes, a couple of you guys have been very confused or afraid of being sent to Overwatch. Now, of course, with the recent changes, it's now so that if you have a very high score, and this can pretty much mean everything, just like MVPs, high accuracy, I don't know, kill-death ratio, pretty much everything. We do not completely know what kind of algorithm they will be going off. However, just in general, if they have like very good, extremely good stats, like hacker-like stats almost, they'll be sent straight to Overwatch to actually, well, check if they're hacking or not. Now, many of you guys are a little afraid of that, and I can understand that if you haven't really, well, grasped the concept of how Overwatch is actually working. So, first of all, many people are a little afraid of the requirements for Overwatch, which is, of course, 150 matchmaking wins, as well as being at least Gold Nova 1, and there's some slight variance to it, so I think you also have to have a couple of 100 hours on CSGO. It really depends, so some might get a little later than actually that. Now, of course, if you're playing a lot of CSGO, you might say, but wait, Gold Nova 1, isn't that a little low for, well, someone to determine if I was hacking or not and getting me banned? Well, technically I'd say yes, but there are two things you have to keep in mind. First of all, just because you have a very low skill rating doesn't mean that you do not understand what a hacker looks like. So first and foremost, Overwatch is pretty much only for obvious hackers, rage hackers like extreme obvious autolog and wall hacking, stuff like that. However, let's say casters, like they have a very good understanding of what a pro player game looks like. They really know how to properly judge a player. However, they do not necessarily need to be able to play at the same level as well. So again, it's kind of a thing, knowledge versus skill actually. Now, the other thing you have to keep in mind as well is that in Overwatch you basically have a score as an investigator, meaning if you have like very good rounds or, well, very good verdicts, meaning that you always say, okay, this guy wasn't hacking, this guy was hacking, and all your submissions were completely right, your score will rise. And of course, everyone who just started out with Overwatch will have a very low score, meaning that if they're starting out with like just the wrong verdicts all along, their score will pretty much not mean anything at all for, well, the most part. However, again, if you have like very good score, then this means that your vote will actually be weighed in a lot higher, meaning that like if you have 10 newbies saying, oh, this guy was definitely hacking, and you have like one very good experienced investigator who's saying, no, actually he just was listening for footsteps right here, then the vote of the, well, good investigator will outweigh the newbies, meaning that you will be completely safe to go. It's very rare that actually someone will be banned by Overwatch for cheating while he was not cheating, since again, Overwatch mostly is for very obvious hacks. Now also, something that you have to keep in mind with Overwatch is that in Overwatch, for the first couple of rounds, you will get already submitted verdicts of other guys, like already viewed demos or reviewed demos that you then will be reviewing, and then your score or your answers will be compared to the ones who already did answer them correctly. Another thing is also that there will be pro demos in there, so meaning that if you're actually looking at that and you're saying, oh, of course, this guy is definitely hacking, then right off the bat the Overwatch system will know, of course, this guy said the pro was hacking, so he clearly should have an even lower score until he actually realized what real hackers look like, and eventually, if he's getting good enough, he might be able to have a good score and properly understand what a true hacker looks like. Now, last but not least, once again, Overwatch is mostly for obvious hackers. If you're not sure, if you're on the edge of saying, okay, this might be wall hacking, this might not be wall hacking, I'm not completely sure, in that case you always should be going for a safe bet, meaning, of course, if I'm not sure, then I can't say for sure that he was hacking. And again, this is even more emphasized by the end of the verdict, where you will be asked if you're completely sure that there's an evident beyond a reasonable doubt. And this is probably the most important thing that you should keep in mind while doing Overwatch. So I hope this little explanation helped a couple of you guys out. Again, it is very unlikely. There have only been a couple of cases where someone actually got banned from Overwatch while he was not cheating. And again, if this really is happening to you, you can always contact the Steam support and then maybe say, okay, I'd like to see the demo where like I got banned for and stuff like that. And then you can basically apply to get unbanned in case it was a game ban. However, if you have been banned for griefing, you might be out of luck, because of course with the recent changes, or well, it's been a while now, but definitely if you have been griefing a lot, and I think you're allowed to grief once and then you get a warning, and for a second time you actually also can get a complete game ban, this will also mean that you're pretty much not able to play CSGO anymore. So once again, I hope this was kind of helpful for you guys. I hope I was able to clear some of the confusion about Overwatch, and I hope that some of you might not be afraid of Overwatch anymore as they used to be. So definitely go for those wallbangs now and spray everyone through the smoke. But I say that's pretty much all for now. I hope you enjoyed the video, and luckySkillFaker out.